welcome to Art Friends, where this is a bunch of friends who like art. I'm Marcus or something, probably.
Queso.
Queso. Yes.
Queso.
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 I would
That'll
be
work.
sharing, but I'm lactose intolerant.
I see. And
Yeah,
wait a
makes
second.
sense.
This is Art Friends. I thought this was really Grinning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Queso's
really
show.
Grinning, the most popular show on the internet, followed
The-
only by Art Friends.
We are in fact number
Art
2.
Friends has taken over the old Popcross channel, and Popcross now only has 4 subscribers.
Yeah, we hacked him and moved all his. We hacked every fan base in the world and moved all the followers to our account.
Yeah.
That's why we have like 130 followers.
Thank you for letting me hack it.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
the
that's
rest
all
were
the fan
bots.
bases.
Yeah, the rest were bots, Opalia. I got rid of all those. There's only 130 people in the world. How could you have more than that for subscribers?
Yeah, like that's an
Dude,
insane
I probably
amount of
have seen more than 130 people in one room.
Excuse me?
I'm pretty sure that's impossible.
Yeah.
Opalia, have you seen a room? Like, come on.
I'm
can't
inside
fit
of a room right
130
now.
That's impossible.
Side.
You guys are very suspicious right now.
No. Vote Opalia. Everyone vote Opalia.
Yeah, I'm voting Opalia.
No,
I
I would
think
vote for
you're-
Coda.
But
Yeah, I'm gonna vote for Opalia because I think she's the imposter. Hey,
Yeah.
let's get on topic.
Hey.
this episode is unintentionally topical with the game that is popular right now, being Among Us. This is going to be super dated because Among Us is not going to be that popular very soon, I feel like, or in a year
However,
or so.
this
I'd like to
topic
be dated.
should be.
This topic will always be relevant.
Yeah. So before we get into the topic, Queso or Marcus, I call him Queso and Opalia.
We're gonna
you
call
have
him
done it as
Queso.
well.
All other names are irrelevant. He's gonna be called Queso.
Oh,
But-
I don't want people to
Queso.
be confused.
Queso. That's just the nickname. But would you like to introduce yourself? You have 30 seconds to tell me everything about you.
Hi, I'm a small-time YouTuber doing whatever the heck I can on YouTube to make people's lives better, whether that's talk about 2020 and why it sucks but can be better, or trying to make sure y'all peoples on the internet have a good day.
Hey,
I got like 4 subscribers, and they're all the Art Friends, plus Coda's extra account. So,
plus
can
Stroller.
That's 30 seconds. Thank you. But yeah, definitely does run a YouTube podcast,
Oh.
and it's not.
Coda,
Oh
you said
no!
Queso.
Coda censor.
Coda! I
I'll
actually thought
censor.
I was going to.
Yeah,
Okay.
me
We need
too.
the ducky.
Sorry, force of habit.
You're so stupid.
Yeah, but Queso really does run a YouTube podcast type thing, but they're only like 5-minute little snippet podcasts, which I enjoy a lot personally because you
Yeah.
don't have to sit through 2 hours or something to get all the information. It's just all there in a little bite-sized piece.
Gosh,
So-
I really don't want to listen to Christian's voice for 2 hours.
Imagine listening to people for multiple hours.
For 2 times? Like, that's 2 episodes. That's more than enough.
Yeah, that's like an hour twice.
Yeah,
But
that's like 6
everyone-
minutes, 20 times.
yeah, everyone go check out Queso's YouTube show, Really Grinning, where he's always grinning.
Yes.
And Queso is actually a good friend of mine in person. We go to the same
Oh.
church. Yes. So it's weird to have my podcast life mixed with my church life.
Hashtag podcast life.
Hashtag podcast life.
Imagine
Spell
having a local
LYF.
church. Imagine having a local church. There's like none over here. There's one, but it's pretty far away, and it has a solar panel cross, which I'm very happy with.
That
That's
sounds
interesting.
awesome. It's like
It's got like a
solar-
really big roof, and then the cross,
know
and
about-
then there's a bunch of solar panels on top of it in the form of a cross, in the shape of a cross. I think it's cool.
That reminds me a lot of solar punk aesthetics. If you haven't looked
Solar
it up.
punk.
It's so
never-
cool.
What? I've never heard
It's
of it.
it's like
That's it.
It's
imagine
like
yeah.
it's like industrial, but like ecological.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's
Is it
very
just
cool.
like really? Is it just like steampunk, except everything's
No.
powered by solar panels instead of
But,
steam?
No, it's
Guys,
a lot to take in.
today we're
Alright
going to
then.
talk about imposter syndrome, and for those who don't know what it is, I'm going to explain it real quick by going through the Wikipedia article
Oh
vaguely.
no! I hope it's not a bad, silly.
Oh, it's complete. It's good, but it's very funny in the beginning. So, imposter syndrome from Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. Imposter syndrome. Yeah, okay. Not to be confused with Capra's delusion, in which a person believes that a loved one has been replaced by an imposter. So definitely don't confuse imposter syndrome with Capra's delusion. But no, imposter syndrome, also known as imposter phenomenon, imposterism, fraud syndrome, or imposter experience, is a psychological pattern in which an individual doubts their skills, talents, or accomplishments, and has a persistent internalized fear of being exposed as a fraud. Despite external evidence of their competence, those experiencing this phenomenon remain convinced that they are frauds. They do not and do not deserve all they have achieved. Individuals with imposterism incorrectly attribute their success to luck or interpret it as a result of deceiving others into thinking they are more intelligent than they perceive themselves to be. While research focused on the prevalence among high-achieving women, imposter syndrome has been recognized to affect both men and women equally. So it's inclusive. Imposter syndrome also occurs in the context of mental illness and its treatment. Certain individuals may see themselves as less ill, less depressed, less anxious than their peers or other mentally ill people, citing their lack of severe symptoms as the indication or a minor underlying issue. People with this form don't seek help for their issues, seeing their problems as not worthy of psychiatric attention. So that's just a quick rundown of it. Basically, it's thinking that you're a fraud. It's thinking that you're fooling everyone and that you're a big old smarty pants that doesn't deserve their skills.
Here's what clicked for me. Somebody said, I was watching a video on it. It might have been like a TED Talk. And the dude was like, I run a business. And every day I'm at the office, I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I just kind of got lucky. I just like guessed my way here. Eventually, someone's going to come knocking on my door and be like, okay, time for you to lose your business because you actually don't have any idea what you're going. You tricked us. You know? So imposter syndrome is basically feeling like you don't deserve your status because your skills, despite external evidence, are not good.
Yeah.
Almost like you're an imposter. He was an imposter in this business world with all these awesome business people. He was like the guy who was like, oh, I don't deserve to be here.
Yeah.
So I think that about clears it up. And the whole second bit, I think, was just about like how another chunk of imposter syndrome is that nobody realizes that everyone else has it. Therefore, they think that one, they are an imposter, and two, they never bother seeking help.
Mm-hmm.
So, that being said, let's get into discussing it. Does anyone here feel as if they've had experience with imposter syndrome?
I mean, who hasn't? How do you guys think this relates to artists?
Wait, we totally skipped over what I just said.
You're welcome.
So, does anybody have any experience with it?
Yes.
Coda, that's only the fourth bullet point. No, I'm kidding.
I've had my fair share with imposters.
Alright, how so?
Oh, in general, it can be about like me not deserving the amount of compliments for my art, or confidence stuff like saying, "Oh, I'm not pretty," "Oh, I'm fat," "Oh, my feet are bigger than my nose," "No, they're ugly," that stuff.
Feet. I would hope your feet are bigger than your nose. Honestly.
Yeah, that one took me off guard for a second. I was like, wait a second, is that... I was like, wait, my feet are bigger than my nose. Wait, that's how it's supposed to be, right?
No.
I don't know, Coda. You tend to draw pretty big noses.
Well, perhaps I am slowly hinting at the fact that I have tiny feet.
We know what that means.
Oh no.
He's a clown.
I thought you were going somewhere else with that. But
I was.
Okay, so guys,
we're recording Art
human
Friends.
body is actually supposed to look like this.
Oh dang.
Yeah.
But so yeah, Opalia, you said you've experienced what you think to be imposter syndrome in the form of being self-conscious.
No, I just did a quick rundown of like basic things where I've experienced imposter syndrome. I just didn't want to go into it too much because I feel like you guys should talk more about it.
Oh,
Okay.
so you're saying we're imposters?
My imposter told me so. Yes, you are.
So
Look, Coda, why did you completely ruin my bullet point list?
because I thought it would give us a better idea of how it works.
Okay.
If we go into our experience with it first, and then how it applies to different stuff.
Okay. Well, Coda, how do you experience it then? Tell us.
How have I experienced imposter syndrome? I don't know. I think everyone, or at least most people, get something similar to it to a degree. So whenever I post a drawing, I am kind of like, I always do think I don't know what I'm doing in a sense. So, if I finish an illustration and someone's like, "Wow, look at that perspective," I'm like, I don't know how to do perspective. I was just guessing, and it's just didn't, So I think there's a sense of undercutting
Undermining?
one's achievements.
Oh yeah, that happens with me all the time.
Tell us
How
about
so?
Well, mostly it's more for my YouTube because, spoiler alert, I'm not an artist, guys. Whoa, big
Whoa.
imposter.
it. Kick him off the podcast. He's not supposed to be part of Art Friends.
Yeah, he's the
Whoa.
imposter. He's definitely the imposter if he's not an artist.
Can we stop
Not
with
gonna
the
lie.
imposter jokes?
Wait, he actually left the chat. Oh no, I hope
What?
that doesn't mess up Craig.
That would be rather unfortunate.
No.
Excuse me.
Queso, that's kind of sus, but it's not enough to make me vote for you.
Okay.
I love
Can we
how
stop
not-
with the Among Us jokes?
Yeah. Okay.
Wait, 1 second before that. Can we talk about how Coda not only had a voice crack, but
He kind of
he
sounded like
almost
Mickey
said
Mouse.
the wrong name? He was just like, oh. Like, I cannot do the Mickey Mouse, I'm sorry.
I was gone for 5 seconds. What the heck just happened?
Everything. Coen!
Perfect.
So, Queso, continue.
Yeah, so again, not an artist. However, I do deal with stuff all the time, and we're talking about imposters. So, let's say, I run a YouTube channel. I've only got about 5 episodes. I'm working on a 6th, though. That's pretty good. But when I'll look at it, I don't know, for example, your guys' channel. Whoa, that's 25 episodes. They have a bunch of unique thumbnails for each one. Their audio doesn't sound terrible, and they have like a still moving background instead of a black screen every episode. And also they have a way to edit that's not just YouTube Studio. So that's like 14 million things better than me. So I'm like, well, I just released episode 5. It's the worst thing I've ever done, even though it's the best one of all 5 of them. I should just go quit YouTube.
Well, I gotta say to that, first of all, we are a team of 3. Coen is doing the thumbnails. I think 2 times Coda did them.
No, he did it
Coda
once.
is currently... Whatever. Coda is currently the editor because I'm falling out because of private seasons. Ah, yes, my private seasons. Anyways, because of private reasons, I'm currently cutting out with the cutting. Well,
My private seasons where the no one can experience this weather except for me. This is my
You guys-
own season. Get out.
They're
Get out of my
mine.
Jubal. Jubal is only for me.
Jubal.
yes. Look at these
Jubal, where
hurricane
it's
tornadoes.
32 degrees Celsius every day is only for me.
Oh
So
god.
wait, so technically in my season, Sharknado could happen.
Yes?
Sharknado
question
happens
mark.
every Jubal.
Yeah, Opalia. Too
It's
bad
how
you
you
won't
know
let
it
me in.
starts.
What's Jubal?
Your
Jubal's my private
season.
season.
Yes, but what's
Queso.
Jubal?
Queso, can you let me in Jubal?
Yeah. You live
Yay.
like within 5 miles. I'll allow it.
But what were you saying, Opalia, before you got on the tangent about your private reasons or whatnot?
Oh, so pretty much we're a team of 3. Coen is doing the thumbnails, Coda is doing the editing currently, and well, I'm existing.
Wait, he's doing it right now as we speak.
Hi, Coda.
I am currently editing.
Coda, did you
I'm
drink water
editing as
today?
we're recording. What?
But I hope you drank water and just took a break. I'm not talking
Coda, you smell like soap.
to you, Coda. I'm talking to Coda in the future. Yes, you should shower, Coda. Shaking my head. In 15 minutes, when you still are editing, I will come out of your screen and tell you to shower.
Will do.
Understood? Okay.
Okay. So yeah, but
Coda, you have to tell me that you actually showered when you hear this. Okay, thanks.
will do. So, Queso, yeah, that's definitely because imposter syndrome is very discouraging, right?
Oh, yeah.
When you think that you don't know what you're doing and you're on the same level you do and you don't deserve to be there, you're an imposter. It makes you not want to be there. It makes you think that, okay, I'm gonna stop here.
I do
But-
think one important distinction to make is that I didn't hear in any of us is that we actively think we're gonna be outed, and I think that's a pretty damn big part of it. I think that's what
Right.
distinguishes imposter syndrome from just self-doubt in general.
Right.
So, like, do any of you guys feel like anyone's could just knock on your door and tell you that you're a fraud?
Yeah.
Okay, so I do have doubts that like one day I'm going to apply, like I'm finally gonna apply to get a job, and they're like, yo, this is trash. I'm gonna be like, what? Everyone says it's so good. They're like, nah, bro, we can tell you don't know what you're doing, even if you can fool the others. I do have kind of that feeling in my mind sometimes, but it's like not like someone's gonna knock on my door.
That moment
Yeah,
when
but that-
Coda is so unable to feel he has feelings in his mind. He's just imagining his feelings.
I'm not an expert, but I'm pretty sure most feelings are in your mind.
Yes.
I thought they were all in your soul, in your heart.
Or
Okay,
your
but
liver.
can I just quickly side tangent?
Alcohol would be
Take
like
more than
No.
a minute. So, guys, Coda and I have watched Violet Evergarden. There was episode 10.
Oh boy.
I was sitting there sobbing. Like, I tried to keep quiet so he can, like, watch the show, enjoy it, you know? And then in the end, he was like, I thought this would, like, do more emotional terror than you told me to. Meanwhile, I was there like, yes, just give me a minute, I need to calm down. I cannot believe it.
Okay.
Side
But-
tangent over.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's definitely a very big part of it, is to actively feel like you're going to be outed. And, like, it's like you're being sneaky, you know? Like, you snuck
Yeah.
into this place you shouldn't be, even though you deserve to be there. You feel like someone's going to catch you sneaking around.
Yeah.
Like,
So
Coda, did you actually apply
Okay, how
to the
do you-
job, or did you just got in there like an imposter?
I haven't applied anywhere yet.
But Opalia, do you have that feeling at all?
Yes.
Like someone's gonna out you for something?
All the time, dude. Like, for example, college here in the good old Germany. Good. Okay, anyways,
Deutschland.
here in Germany, there are two different kinds of college. One where you have like 2 days of college, then 3 days of work. Currently, you have to find a workplace, and the whole time, like, I'm searching for it, and I'm like putting in all my effort, but then I'm like sitting here in the evening, drawing and like calming down, and then there's that voice just being like, "Yeah, you didn't do enough. You still don't have a place to work. Like, what the heck are you doing, girl? Like, what lazy person are you, huh? Come, move your butt."
I think
And
that's.
it's like, yeah,
I don't think that's imposter syndrome. I think that's something else. That's just like self doubt.
maybe.
Because imposter syndrome would be like if you submitted the work, got an A, and then you did all genuinely, you didn't cheat, but then you're like, oh, I hope the teacher doesn't realize I didn't actually know what I was doing.
What's
And then
not
he comes in-
cheating?
But it's not just thinking you cheated. It's also accounting it to like, oh, I just got lucky. Oh, I think
Oh, that's actually
I
like
just
the
did
thing
it
is,
like this guy. This guy did it much better than me.
I'm
And I think
still
that relates to arts
I'm
especially, but
Coen, I'm
Yeah.
still like visiting that college, and every time I go there, I just feel like I did not do enough to like go there. Like I shouldn't be there, even if I applied normally. I just don't put enough effort in to even stay there, and that I should just go.
yeah.
That's closer to imposter syndrome.
I
for
guess
sure.
I just don't have an imposter. So I will have to be my
And
own
what
imposter.
What about you, Queso?
I'll say that like I have to keep up bringing the YouTube video thing because that's all I really have. But
Doubt
like
that.
yeah, but it's like, oh yeah, you made these videos and all, but like they aren't really helping people. They're honestly kind of useless. Just delete them. Just delete your channel, dude. I do feel like somebody would come up to me and say that, and I'd be like, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Right.
So let's see. Those are all really interesting. So we all have it in some respect, but how do you guys think this applies to like arts and artists and art communities in general?
Yeah, and
Because
I'd love to see Queso's outside perspective on this because
yeah,
how he thinks it would apply as opposed to our experience with how it does is going to be really interesting.
yeah, you go ahead, Queso.
I will say for a fact that the first thing when I thought, oh, this is Art Friends, and then you put up a Discord for the Artist Guild, I was like, oh, sweet, maybe I can join it. That looks cool. But I'm like, I stayed there for a little while. I'm like, I'm not an artist. I don't really kind of belong here. Kind of sucks because I mean, all I really did, which it's still fine, but I just was like, hey, that looks nice. Hey, that doesn't look nice. And I'm like, I don't want to be a critic when I don't know what I'm talking about. And so I'm like, is my opinion really valuable? And so I'm just like,
Yeah,
a lot of the people there are great, and most of them are on the Art Friends Discord as well. So that's also really cool. Hey, B-Nut.
join it.
But
Join the Art Friends Discord server.
yeah, but I just like didn't feel like I was supposed to be there, and I was like, I mean, I drew this one thing, and it's fine, but like I don't do art. That's not what I feel like I want to do with my life. Mad props to you guys for wanting to do that, but that's not me.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very true. How would you say, what do you think how it applies to, okay, let me rephrase that. So, how do you think it applies to every artist? Because that was kind of a you specific situation. How do you think this applies to every artist out there? Like, what are the common ways artists experience this?
I would think that I don't know that you guys have talked about like comparing yourself to something like a professional artist or something like that. You're like, dang, these people, do a lot better work than I do. And so it's like, why should I work whenever there's always going to be someone better than me? Which it's your work is always great. Remember that. But honestly, I don't really have many ideas for that other than what I just said.
Right. Well, art-wise, yeah, that's right. Art-wise, I've kind of given my thoughts on it, how I feel it, which is I feel like I am eventually going to get outed once I apply for a job for not knowing what I'm doing, and I've just been tricking everyone on Instagram and Discord into thinking I know what I'm doing. But I don't think that's true. And I just kind of got to recognize that as a lie. But you guys gave some of your experiences with it. What do you think are common ways artists experience imposter syndrome, Coen and Opalia?
Coen, you go first.
Now you can go first.
No, you go first.
No, you go first.
I insist on you going first since
Nah,
you're the...
I'm pretty sure you can go first.
Opalia goes first. It is decided.
Epic.
Why me?
Oh, it is decided.
I haven't
That's
thought
why,
enough about...
Opalia.
Coda, you're also an artist. You go first, ha!
What?
Coda already went.
Not really. I mean, I didn't get my thoughts on it.
How do you know Coda didn't just edit out his part already to make you go first?
Oh, yeah. I
Well,
did
then-
already go, wink.
Don't wink at me.
Oh, this is so bad.
But-
Coen, could you please go first? I don't know what to say.
Okay. Well, I don't think I even... Wait, did I even talk about how I experienced it earlier?
No.
Oh, well.
Well, do it now.
No, it's fine.
Well,
I'm
Coen,
gonna be funny and do the thing that the imposter syndrome would say. I'm an imposter anyway, so no one cares about what I feel. That was a joke, but I see it a lot in my art friends, both these two and others, but particularly the ones that are about my age and are surprisingly good and amazing and fantastic at what they do and what they make, which includes you guys, but there's a couple of people in particular. I won't mention names because that's kind of outing people for their psychological struggles or whatever, which isn't too good. But I'll comment on their posts on Discord, Instagram, Twitter, or whatever, and they'll usually I'll say wow, you got some really nice lighting, and they'll usually say something like, yeah, I don't know what I was doing, or I was referencing this other artist, or oh yeah, but this person does it much better. And I feel like it's a decent tool to improve because it kind of does give you specific points you can work on. But if you're obsessing over it, then it's not healthy at all.
So what's a decent way to improve?
By using imposter syndrome to your advantage, that when you start to feel it, so when Coda gives me a compliment like, wow, Coen, these creature heads are really cool, I like the shapes on them, and I'm just like, yeah, I referenced this one artist, you can kind of use that, or no, I kind of won the lighting. Like, when you say that, you can kind of learn from it by saying okay, if I just said I don't understand the lighting, I'm gonna do some theory and lesson. I'm gonna do some lighting theory and kind of understand it a bit more, so I don't feel that way anymore. But then again, it's not nearly as useful as just finding what you're bad at. It's a really backwards way of doing it. There's nothing particularly good that comes out of imposter syndrome. It just makes you really anxious, and it's not healthy at all. But I
Right.
generally see it when I give compliments. I sometimes see it when people post like, "Oh, I did this, but it's not that good. I just helped another person did this better." I just see that a lot, basically.
Right. So their imposter syndrome would be, even though they did something good, they feel like they didn't do it good. They just kind of guessed at it.
Yeah,
They didn't actually do it.
they feel like they didn't do it. They feel like someone else helped them, or somehow they cheated, or somehow they did something wrong.
Right. Yeah, I think that's a very common way it would apply to artists. It's just like you do something good and you're like, someone's like, wow, look at that form. What beautiful form. And you're like,
Of course you went with the form compliment again.
I do it now just for you, Coen.
Thank you. This is
But
a token of real friendship.
it is. Big hug.
Hug.
But I think I totally lost my train of thought actually.
People
So
give
you don't
compliments.
think?
I don't think. I think incorrectly.
Wow, this is getting deep.
Damn.
Damn.
Opalia, give us an answer. How do you think imposter syndrome applies to artists?
Imposter syndrome applies to artists. Well, I think it's mostly like just someone like drawing something and then in the end going like, oh yeah, I saw this post, the posting on that and that page, and I actually kind of copied it, and it's not really like my work, as Coen said.
Right.
Or just like drawing this, and then there's that voice inside of your head being like, oh, you're referencing that too much. Do you really think you can do that on your own? You probably don't even know how to pick colors correctly. Just do it on your own if you're such a great artist. Stuff like that.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
I think there's one more step to it, and that's that you don't see yourself grow. Just like how you don't physically see yourself grow because it happens so slowly, you don't see yourself get better until you look back at your own stuff. So you start off by looking at these great professional artists. You're like, wow, I can't even understand how they comprehend perspective at that depth. And then you start learning little perspective things and little stuff. But in your brain, you still don't understand it like those professional artists used to do. That gap is still there. So even when you're drawing at a similar level to them, you're like, but I still don't comprehend it as deeply as them, even though they probably just wing it half the time. You
Exactly.
know? Because everyone puts on a front of knowing what they're doing, when in reality, almost no one knows exactly what they're doing.
This is
Yeah.
right, Coda. You are right.
Yay.
Left.
Queso, I think those are the big ones and how it applies to artists. But Queso, how does this apply to everyone, do you think? How does it apply to... What are your thoughts on just it in general?
There's two camps in the world. Artists and everyone else.
As we all know, we work in the industry. We call it that because it's the best industry.
It's the only one that exists.
As we all know, I am a professional, not artist. I am paid $5 a month to not draw art. It's
Sick.
terrible.
$5
As we all know.
I get paid nothing for being an artist.
Well, no,
Commission me.
because it's if you're trying to be an artist, it's that hard life. You got to go through that anime montage training arc because you guys are more powerful than us. I mean, I know Coda got that jujitsu. He's gonna beat me up and then paint my dead body. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely how Coda's going to do that.
Yeah, that's... I would... Oh, I don't even want to elaborate on that joke, actually.
Does that mean that Coda's the imposter?
I was trying to think of a funny, but I was like, actually, anywhere I take this, be painting a corpse.
Is that
Yeah.
an expression, painting a corpse?
It
Yes.
should be.
Sounds good. What does it mean?
Painting a corpse could be similar to polishing a turd.
Ew.
I guess.
Alright. But what we figured
Okay.
out
Oh.
is that imposter syndrome and self-doubt are linked. Imposter syndrome, I guess it's a bit more to deal with, but both are important to deal with. And
I think imposter syndrome is just an extension of self-doubt.
yeah. So if you think you only have self-doubt, you're like, dang, I only have self-doubt. I don't have imposter syndrome. I guess it doesn't matter as much as dealing with imposter syndrome. No! Your mental health is important, people.
Very.
Yeah.
I think.
No.
So
Oh, sorry. Go on.
that was a little bit of a tangent, but yeah. So no matter what, you gotta believe in yourself. I brought up my sponsorship in my last episode of Big Talk, but I was sponsored by Willpower, and they're honestly really cool. It's the ability to believe in yourself and do good. 11 out of 10 shonen protagonists recommend. It's very strong.
They now sell it
Yeah.
in pill form.
That's a different thing. We're not going to talk about that.
Yes.
But yeah, so you have to believe in yourself. You got to understand that, you know what? Maybe you are that good. Maybe you aren't that good. But you are you, and what you do is good. And if it's not, work on improving it.
Right.
Don't-
What you do is what you do. No one else did it for you.
Yeah. You learned, but that's because someone taught you, but you had to learn it yourself. I'm not going to go out and learn 3-point perspective. I know what that is. And be like, oh, this one institute came up with 3-point perspective. They just put it in my brain, so I'm just only as good as, not as good as the institute. No, I put time and effort into learning 3-point perspective. I think I forgot it, but I still remember that I learned it. And I'm like,
Did you actually?
Hey,
Hey.
Did you actually
Bleep it
learn it,
out.
Queso?
Bleep it out. Cut it out.
I mean, at least first and second point perspective, because turns out that engineering also uses that, so it coincides with art world. Because art
coincides.
it coincides.
That's what we call Cohen's ribs.
What?
Coincides.
Coincides. By the way,
Oh,
can we
my God.
can I just quickly Coen is a good alarm for like whenever Coda is saying the wrong name. He just immediately went
hey.
Yes. It just
But-
made me cackle.
Queso, that was a very good motivational speech.
I feel a little bit more motivated than usual.
Thank you.
Jay.
Oh.
Let's see.
So,
But this definitely does not only apply to artists. It can, like, I started off this episode thinking that everyone had imposter syndrome in some respect, but I don't think that now, actually. I think everyone has dealt with self-doubt in some way or another, but not strictly imposter syndrome. Because imposter syndrome, what really separates it is that constant feeling of faking it. It's that constant feeling of someone knocking at your doorstep and saying that you need to stop because you're doing it wrong. You're faking it. You're a parasite on someone else. Someone else brought you this. You didn't do this. You're faking it. You didn't do this the right way. And I think that really
Right.
separates it. And that can apply to any profession. It's not just art. It can apply to, I don't know, plumbing. It can apply to business in particular. It can apply to economics, which is a part of business, but shut up. It can apply to teaching, maybe. It can apply to, I don't know,
I am
everything
intrigued
else.
why you choose plumbing of all things.
Well, you know, I think a good analogy for it, and it's not like I have any experience with this, would be like sneaking into a bar underage.
Hey,
So, like-
Coda.
Yeah, Coda
Aren't you
definitely has
Christian?
no experience with that.
But but if you sneak into a bar underage, you're constantly sitting there like, oh, I don't belong here. I hope the bouncer doesn't see me. I just got to keep my face covered. Eventually, he's going to tap me on the shoulder and he's going to say, "Get out." You know, it's just the constant feeling that you're not ready to be there. You're not old enough to be there, and that someone's about to kick you out.
I'm gonna get into I want to get in. I actually read an article on this before we recorded, but I want to get into how to fix imposter syndrome a bit later on. But for now, I just want to quickly say that an actual imposter would try to be cool about that, and they probably wouldn't be that anxious. An actual evil imposter wouldn't think about that. They would be focused on what they want, which is the beer, the drinks, the alcohol, the good stuff. Or whatever you want to call it.
It's not good stuff, dude. It's poison.
You want to call it the happy juice? Go ahead.
Party poison? No.
Party poison sounds like a great song.
It does.
This ain't a party. Get off the dance floor. I wanna get down. Okay. I love that song. Anyhow, an actual imposter would not be too busy with those things and feeling anxious. They might be a little anxious. I don't imagine them being devoid of any angst whatsoever. But just know that even if don't think of yourself as evil when you experience these things. Try to accept the fact that feeling anxious and a fraud in that situation is normal and a regular effect. Don't think, oh, I'm feeling these feelings. It must be because I'm evil and I'm a fraud. Say, oh, I'm feeling these feelings because that's probably what any other person would feel. Because once I read this article, what's made very clear early on is that people with imposter syndrome are just as intelligent and just as competent as any other person. And the difference is that they just think they're less competent and they attribute it to other facts like cheating or others or them just not knowing what they're doing.
Right. Even though there's proof you're just as competent, you're saying I just got lucky. And it's the equivalent of you're sitting in the bar, your 16-year-old self is in the bar, and then you look around and you realize everyone
bad example. That's drinking age in some countries.
What? It's fine. But
2 years old.
You look around. You're 2 years old in this bar, and then you look around and you realize everyone else is also a toddler. They just have fake mustaches on.
They're all toddlers in trench coats.
Yeah, but that's what it is. Everyone puts on a fake mustache to go to this bar, and so many people fall for it, and they're like, well, and they only see their fake mustache as fake.
That's a very nice mustache sir.
Coda, with this metaphor, you're implying that everyone's an imposter, and that's kind of the opposite of what we're trying to do here.
Well, I'm saying
nobody's an imposter.
Kind of nobody knows fully what they're doing. And everyone thinks that only they don't. When in reality, that's not true. Everyone just puts on a fake mustache and acts like they know what they're doing.
That's not entirely true in my opinion, but that's fine.
It's not like...
It does make it more comforting. It does make it more comforting knowing that everyone has their self-doubts, but it's not like everyone puts on a fake mask, because that opens the Pandora's box of everyone else being an imposter, which is even worse in my opinion.
Well,
because you're not able to trust anyone.
No one wants to be an idiot, so they're going to act like they're not, and that's what the fake mustache is. And everyone thinks whoever's acting like they're not an idiot is actually not.
Well, they're not acting, they're just not doing it.
Right.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, but I see your issue with it, but I think that it's true to an extent at least.
Yeah. It's at least comforting in some way.
Yeah.
Everybody else is a 2-year-old with a fake mustache.
Everyone else is a 2-year-old in the bar.
Can't believe you guys exposed me for this episode.
So,
I feel like a thing I want to bring up is that the whole cancel culture thing might not have helped with imposter syndrome in recent years. Because it's literally, cancel culture is literally finding something wrong about a person and then ruining their life, which is absolutely horrible and just should not exist.
That is probably a good reason why it's even worse now.
Exactly. And why those people need to wear full-on fake beards.
Full-on beards with glasses and a fake nose.
Yeah. Like, they can't just pass by with the mustache. And everyone's starting to wear beards. But...
yeah. How do you guys think you should deal with imposter syndrome, Opalia?
Well, let's talk about it in art context first, if an artist is experiencing imposter syndrome.
Didn't we already do that?
Well, like, how would an artist deal with it?
Okay, sounds good. But I feel like how an artist would deal with it is about the same as how anyone else would deal with it.
All right, we can just do that then. Queso, how would you recommend to deal with imposter syndrome?
Okay.
The main idea is that you are very much likely competent. Unless you are, in fact, a 2-year-old with a fake mustache listening to this video, you are likely competent at something. And you gotta realize, hey, I'm doing this. It turns out I'm actually doing a good job. You can believe in yourself. You can do it. I'm probably not the best. I mean, I'm currently dealing with it. I haven't fully experienced how I want to fix it, but that's kind of my idea.
What are some of the ways you plan on trying to fix it?
I mean, I'm just gonna use my YouTube videos as an example because I'm always using them as an example, and it's the best way to make an example for me.
Consistent examples are the best examples.
Rather than saying all my videos are trash, garbage, I should just delete them, I'll be like, they're not the best, but I mean, I've only kind of just started, so you got to take your baby steps, and so I'll work on improving them, but I have to be okay with the quality right now, because otherwise I won't have a base foundation to improve upon and get good.
Yeah, I think that's
right. So, Opalia, how do you think one should go about fixing imposter syndrome?
Depending on how bad it gets. If it's like only a slight imposter syndrome where you like sometimes think, this kind of sucks, kind of don't really think I deserve this, then it's okay to just try to tell yourself like repeatedly, like, hey, it's actually good, woo, this is great. But if it gets so bad that you're doubting like every step you take and every move you make, that
someone's watching you.
Yes. You got it.
You know what I really want to do one day? I want to like hit up a professional like psychiatrist or psychologist and have them on the podcast and see what they think of all sorts of mental health things.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. No, let's do it today. Let's just kick Queso off and replace him with a psychologist.
Yep, bye, Queso.
I'm only an amateur psychologist.
Wait, what'd you say, Queso?
I'm only an amateur psychologist.
I see.
I'm more amateur
right. Yeah,
than
there's three fields. It's normal people, psychologists, and artists. I forgot about those guys. Absolutely.
That'd be a funny bit. Just someone who is like a therapist, but they actually have no idea what they're doing. They just kind of snuck in there. Bro.
Maybe you should go to a psychologist with those problems. But you...
Bro,
Who said that I'm
that
professional,
sucks.
dude?
That sucks. If I were you, I'd probably just give up, man. What? That's not why I came here.
Well, too bad. That's what we're coming for now.
Man,
Well, I think it's simply acknowledging it is and like learning to realize when it's happening and debunking it in a way. So if you do something great, someone says good job, and then you're like, "Oh no, that wasn't great. I didn't actually do that. That was kind of just messing." Then just stop yourself and be like, "Actually no, I did do a thing. Hurrah."
Yes,
So
slap yourself.
one lady who had imposter syndrome assigned a name to her imposter syndrome. And anytime she would start having those feelings, she would have a name for it. And she would be like, go away, and she'd call it by name.
mine's Becky.
Becky? Leave, Becky.
Are we wrapping up, friendos?
I think we can start wrapping up. Yay. Queso, would you like to summarize what we said and then hit us with an outro?
First of all, I think this episode was the imposter. It's kind of sus. We talked about
Plot
not
twist?
only, yeah. So we talked about also self-doubt and how to just be better at a lot of things. Because imposter syndrome was the imposter as well. Because it's more than just, oh, I think I'm a fraud and I'll get caught out. Sometimes it's just thinking, oh, I think I'm a fraud. So yeah. Imposter syndrome. Yeah, that too.
Wow. At
Imposter
the beginning, we were trying to figure out which one of us was the imposter, but in the end, the imposter was the
Alrighty.
Yeah, no, the imposter was Coda. I will.
Don't ever do that to me again.
Coda, you're dead now. You cannot talk anymore.
Anyways, Queso, you have. Well, we gave him 30 seconds at the beginning, but I'm going to give you 15 seconds now to plug anything you want.
My YouTube channel, Really Grinning. I don't have the link at the moment, but Really Grinning. I do a lot of stuff. I'm trying to be encouraging. And there's this also cool channel who helps me out. It's called Art Friends. You may not have heard of them. They're 3 friends who like art: Coda,
What
Coen, and
losers?
Opalia.
It's been 15
They-
seconds, but I'll let him keep talking about Art Friends.
Yeah, they have like at least 10 times as many subscribers as I did. I did
Because
the
we
math.
all know 10 times 4 is actually 85.
What?
There's a number somewhere.
Where did you get the number 85? Because it's not how much we have, and it's not what 10 times 4 is.
Yes.
It's how many subscribers that crazy person Popcross has. All of them are bots.
Yeah.
Oh, gross.
Piece of trash. And Queso.
Whoa!
I know that he didn't mean it, but like, ooh,
That's
Jesus. I would also cry in a corner.
Popcross, Christian.
Me just
Same
going
thing.
like, who's Popcross? And then you just immediately go, piece of trash. Popcross, more like Popcries. Ah,
Alright, my
because
channel's
he's
gonna get
crying.
deleted now.
Oh no.
Christian's gonna copyright strike.
By the way, was I recording the whole time?
You better have been.
Oh no. This Yeah.
I was. I just wanted to bamboozle.
Anyways,
You could always
Queso,
rely on Gerald
Queso.
though.
Queso, do the outro.
What was the outro?
Just anything. Just say bye.
Remember to love yourself. You're very awesome. Be nice.
Right.
Try not to die, please. I'm begging you. And subscribe to a bunch of those art friends. Peace.
Yep, follow us on Instagram at ArtFriends_cast and join our Discord.
Spotify, listen on Spotify. YouTube, listen on YouTube. There's a Discord, probably.
Listen on Discord.
Probably. We're talking in it right now.
Oh, seriously? That's what we've been doing? I thought we were just using our mind powers.
Oh yeah, I thought we were communicating telepathically. We were using message this entire time. The cantrip.
We actually have someone
you can reply to this
everything
message.
We're saying. Bye guys, see ya. Bye. Bye guys. Bye. See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Bye guys.
Get out of here,
See
Craig.
ya. Bye. Yeah?
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm sorry, my friend's mom was like, hey, if you are hungry, we have soup downstairs.
I mean, your answer was correct.
Put the soup up the stairs.
Put the soup upstairs. Just, come on.
Not even upstairs, up the stairs. Put it on the stairs. Pour the soup down the stairs. Watch it drip down every single step until it reaches the bottom floor.
And then you will be waiting at the bottom step with your mouth wide open for the soup to drip into your mouth.
Ew.
That's perfect.
That's disgusting, dude.
Stair soup.